Are you looking for old school JRPG game, or you have good memories about playing titles like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger or Tales of Destiny games? Then check this game. Hello everyone, it's Mardax here and welcome to my channel where I talk about indie games. Today, thanks to Clockwatchers Inc., I will show you upcoming new title. And before going further, I need to address that this video is made at end of August 2023, where the game is in closed beta and many things can be changed from the day of posting this video. So we are diving into an indie game called Heroes of Drakemire. The backstory of developers go back over 20 years ago, starting with web design, then transitioning to mobile apps. Now they've taken the leap to create a full-fledged role-playing game for more experienced players like myself. Heroes of Drakemire is an RPG set in fantasy world and it draws inspiration from amazing old-school classics of RPG genre. The game's mechanics draw inspiration mostly from old Final Fantasy titles, which I appreciate as a fan of that style of Japanese role-playing games. You assemble a party with white mages, red mages, rogues, warriors and more. It's familiar in good way. It raises few questions, and I noted few things that can be done better for sake of making better title. While testing Heroes of Drakemire, developers added a small update that changed few things and made the game better, so in result, developers are ready to upgrade this title. Nice. And I believe in them. Story begins where strange earthquake appears and our young knight wannabe Brutus found in local forest Endolf. Mages that have amnesia. Earthquake have something related to appearance of many monsters around the world causing chaos and problems. So, along journey to save the world, brave adventurers gather together to accomplish this task. Story is not super deep, but gives you some motivation to go further. Unfortunately, the tempo of story can be stretched too much because of overall farming items and grinding levels. The art style struck me initially as having a mobile game aesthetic, perhaps a result of Clockwatchers Inc. background in mobile apps. Though it took some getting used to, I found it oddly charming after a while. I love feeling that everything is hand-drawn. The animations are smoother than the classic sprite-based one, but they do eat up time, especially during battles. Available sounds and soundtracks feel quite right for this game. But there should be an available option in settings to lower loudness of music. I can't complain about two soundtracks because they fit. But there should be like 3 or 2 more soundtracks for battles. Speaking of battles, RPGs, especially the old ones, are well known for their grinding nature. Heroes of Drakemire is no different, it targets old school gamers. Grinding for experience points is part of the deal, but if it's done right, I would love to see more balance in that area because currently it's quite time demanding to grind your party members and not everyone wants to do it. But of course, grinding means fighting, so is it worth? Fighting is important not only because of experience points, but you need to collect proper items in order to upgrade your party, regardless if you wanna upgrade skill or defense. Gaining experience allows you to get more health and mana. On top of that, leveling impacts your stats, what translates to better chances for bigger damage output or higher chance to evade enemy attacks. Quite oddly, I never happened to land a critical hit, our game wasn't clearly informed me about that. What doesn't get anything from leveling up is action Q. Despite leveling differences, you still can be after a weak enemy in Q. I would prefer it to be based on character speed, to not waste too much time, potions and fun on weaker enemies. Typically while fighting, you choose options like attack, using items, using spells. Your turn is determined in queue that resets every round once all characters finish their turn. In closed beta, I noticed that there is lack of something in these fights and there is no status changes. There is no stuns or potions or dynamics that change something in battlefield. Like for example, if you land a good hit on an enemy and he falls down, maybe next character should jump before him in queue.
That's a lot of damage!
Before he gets up, and there should be possible like combined attacks for your party member or something like that. In my opinion, there is a problem with grinding and problem is that it's not too much rewarding or cost of anything is too high. One of these. In order to obtain upgrades you need to collect stuff. It's understandable, but amount of resources you need to improve anything are quite high and you need to upgrade few things at least. Imagine you grind a stage for gathering proper items, then you choose to go to blacksmith, you pay him with money and items, you receive your upgrade and then you wanna buy healing potions before next run. But oopsie, you don't have money and items. It makes you fall in circle of grinding to collect even basic items. In Drakemire, first village you will gonna visit, you can find potion shop that I nearly never use because buying even basic potion require besides money items needed for upgrading character.
Why?
It is shop or trading post. Also skills needs more fixing. Let's say you have two skills and first on level 1 and second on level 5th. And in damage there is not that big gap between them. So to make your attacks really stronger you need to just grind to upgrade them. Okay, it's still beta after all, so it can be changed. Also there are a few small mistakes, like for example, Sophronia, a ranged character, used crossbow, but she have magic spells that shoot arrows instead of bolts. Quite confusing, but these things are easy to fix. Attacks have information about if they target heads or bodies, which can result in better or worse damage output, but game doesn't clearly inform you which will be better for specific enemy. So you have to test and memorize what will be better. To be honest, once I obtained multiple enemy attacks, leveling up went on higher level, and I like that only ranged characters and Brutus can hit flying enemies normally, because he have long sword that really reaches them. But wait.
You will ask, what about spells?
Because all characters can obtain some spells, right? Yes, in-game characters have some spells and they can obtain new ones. Of course, to upgrade them you need to farm items and cash, at least they attack flying enemies. But where normal attacks doesn't require mana, then spells consume a lot of it. You can level up for gaining bigger mana pool, but getting 1 or 2 levels won't give you enough mana to cast a basic spell.
NANI?
I think the game here its own tale. Game offers you new party members, new attacks, spells, but to use them effectively you need to put a lot of work in grinding experience and items, so not everyone will wanna do that. In conclusion about fighting mechanics in Heroes of Drakemire, I can say that there should be more balance. Because of total costs, you will be afraid to experiment with what game has to offer. The game stages are pre-made, which can lead to repetition while clearing area. Refreshing stage requires collecting items from every corner. I think that this mechanic could benefit from some randomness to keep things interesting and fresh. While running stage over and over, besides gathering resources and gathering experience, there is not any more motivators to do that. I understand that developers wanna create game for old school gamers and bring back good memories from old beloved titles, but we have 2023 and gaming evolved. I'm afraid that in current state of closed beta, Heroes of Drakemire will be good 1997 game, but 2023 not that much. For example, random events while clearing areas or refreshing chests every few stages cleared should impact overall experience. The game can also benefit from random mini-bosses or elite enemies that will provide better rewards and list of possibilities goes on. I think that you can make old school game with modern standards. Enemies calling to your level can feel restrictive, leading to stagnation. As you achieve levels for your party on particular stage, game throws at you the same enemies but stronger. That is to give player constantly challenge and a little bit better rewards, but you don't know when to stop grinding. The positive side of this is that you won't gonna end game with 1000 potions in your backpack, because if enemies are stronger then you need to still use potions all the time. Also, I don't understand why we can only have 3 active party members, and if one of them fall down, then that not active party member is not jumping in his place instead. It will make the game easier, yes, but it's tough enough already. And next, why always, like always, we are facing 3 enemies at once? Just why? In all games there were same situations, and if you had more than 3 party members, in order of keeping all heroes in proper level, you have to grind their levels, changing characters in active party all the time. If you like grinding, then you can have here happy time, but some people will gonna feel grinding as just another work. In its current state, Heroes of Drakemire show potential, but it needs refining. The balance between challenge and progression could be tweaked to create a more enjoyable experience for all types of players. If Clockwork Inc. can address these concerns, the game could truly shine and become a standout in the old school RPG genre. Don't get me wrong, I like this game and I wish developers best, but I'm worried that if the game will stay like this, it's never gonna break to tons of other games. If you wanna check Heroes of Drakemire by yourself, you can use link in description, add the game to wishlist, or just check it for more information. The game is meant to be fully released in beginning of 2024, so developers have a little bit of time to change few things.